incremental ingestion is another thing that is gaining popularity within Uber. Traditionally, ETLs process all the data or process the last 3, 7, 30 days worth of data, right? So they're trying to solve the problem of late arriving updates, essentially, right? But that's not guaranteed. I mean, late arriving data could be as way in the back as well. So completeness issues were always a concern there. So incremental ETLs kind of do solve the problem. It kind of gives customers the ability to say that, yes, I have processed all the data that has come across inserts or updates. It doesn't matter, right? Since the last time my application ran, right? That's a big confidence boost. I'm not sure if you have dealt with issues where customers say, my data is missing. Where is it? Go find it. Okay, this is terabytes of data. It has been multiple levels down since the data was produced. It's been few days since the data was produced. Where do I go look for it? Right. So I don't know. It's hard to be in that kind of a position, right? So it's like a head scratching thingy. Anyway, so this kind of gives us the ability to build that kind of a confidence, right? So trust in the data, right? So we are going heavy on that incremental ETL space, combining that with upserts. I think we have the ability to reduce the cost by at least by about 20%, 20-25%, and freshness by more than 50%, right? So derived data freshness, say hours or even in a couple of hours, is something that is super cool, that can unlock a lot of potential business use cases, right? So because it kind of ties data from various different sources, it's gives you the ability to reduce the time to take action, right? Which is kind of key for many of the business, many of the verticals that we run here at Uber.
Open formats are actually not new, right? So we had at Parquet for like a decade now, and so I would say like there are a necessity, but not any come to close to sufficient for running a successful lakehouse. Having an open format gives you a cushion or some kind of an confidence that, hey, if we need, like our engineers can look at it and audit and like extend the functionality to need. Of course, like, yeah, heterogeneous ecosystem with Spark and Presto being there, like it's important to make it to work with the open format. But this is just like bare minimum requirement, right? So running a lakehouse requires like very much more than an open format. So, I mean, for example, like, so we need a rich set of connectors, right? To pull data from various sources, like can be online database, can be Kafka, can be various other sources, right? And this is not a simple task, right? So if you look underneath, like there are several features required here, like exactly once guarantees, deduplication, incremental ingestion, checkpointing, like pluggable transformations, ability to scale easily and be able to run in a standalone mode or in a cluster setting and things like that. So several important features there, right? And again, like secondly, like we have to have the ability to run both streaming and like batch oriented ingestions depending on the workload style and the requirement use case and things like that. So we need that flexibility that the Lakehouse platform has to provide. It's just not the open format, right? All these services are like needed to run any like production grade data lakehouses. And for us, like this was like one of the prime reasons why we chose Apache Hudi, because it comes with this entire platform here. We are getting this all out of the box, right? So if you have to go and implement this, it's like multiple years of work here. What we getting is not only just these features out of the box, but also the battle tested nature, and that's been the key aspect of it.
How close are you to using the same data stores for traditional use cases such as BI alongside newer use cases such as Gen AI?
I mean, definitely with Gen AI and especially vectors, you have dedicated vector databases, but the part where it blurs is where you need both analytical data as well as semantical data or the vector data. So at least in our journey, we are seeing the both requirement merging together, and in a need for whether it's a data science workload to kind of train a model or to inference a model, need for a system which is kind of catering to both, right? So definitely both from a lake perspective as well as to other query engines, getting that support together is definitely going to enable a lot more better data science productivity and so on. there are tendency to kind of keep the data, especially even if it is the vector database data sets and so on, into the cloud storage or whatever lake storage is. But right now that's not prime time. Having those support from the format will definitely help evolve the ecosystem and accelerate some of the workload.